Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Well, we got some firewood rounds here we want to split. These are really tough wood. I could use a wedge or this, but this bounces off. And so instead of doing a whole bunch of work, I'm going to cheat and use brute force. So I'll be back in a second here. Okay, here we have a 1983 Flowtron 10-ton splitter. Can't find out too much about this company. They weren't in business real long, but they made an electric one, which is one of the first ones on the market. 2 wedges, so you could run it back and forth either way and split. It was slow like this one, but still does a pretty good job. You can split up to about a 20-inch piece. Cylinder's roughly about 2.5 inches internally, and even though it's rated at only 10 tons, it'll actually stall the engine, so I think it'll actually try to split more than it really should. Anyway, we'll get it ready here in just a second. Instead of picking up this big rounds, I use this factory approved ramp here, and I can roll them up on. Of course, I'll put it on this side. So I'll start it up. Well, we're back. So we're going to be maximizing our wood splitting with our minimum wood splitifier. It's a 1983 splitter. It was given to me. It's called a Flowtron. They've been out of business for years. One of the best people in the world I know has since passed gave me this, and he used it twice. It had a really cheap coupling between the motor and the pump, and it broke. Even though he was a machinist by trade, he was so mad he would never fix it, so he gave it to me, and I machined a bracket for it and put on a hydraulic coupling on it. It works great now. So what we're going to do here, we'll take our factory approved loading ramp. I'll put it on this side so I can roll the log up and start it up. Well, you can see that it's pretty good. It's slow, but hey, it does the job. You can see what big grain structure this is, so it's pretty hard to split. So what I do, once I get them to smaller pieces like that, I'll split it with my splitting axe over here. That's a great deal of work, saving on my back and stuff, and trying to split that stuff. It's only 3.5 horsepower, so it does pretty good for a little rascal. So and there you can see brute force works. Well, we're ready to do some splitting. This is my second most used axe. This is my Plumb. It's a felling axe. It's 10 inches, 5.5. It's very thin. It's about a little less than, it's 15/16 of an inch overall length. 3 feet. This thin profile and stuff works really good for splitting on straight grain wood like I'm using here. This little Splitifier did a nice job of making this into bite-sized chunks. So we'll see how it goes here. Slices right through that stuff. You know, big, huge grains. Really stringy. You can see it tries to hold together. There's a knot in there. That's the only weak point of using a double bit like that. When you have knots, they don't have the weight to go through it like a splitting maul or anything, but so you can see how hard that stuck in there. I didn't put that much energy into it. That's why I use double bits. Faster and easier. So loading it up here. My old 1960 garden marks on the job as usual. And since I'm thrifty, or cheap, 15 years ago I paid 75 bucks for it, so I'm still trying to get my monies out of it. So remember, vintage is always better. We'll see you on the next video.